Good afternoon. I'm Baratunde Smith, and here are highlights of happenings in the Fresfoundation and Michael Kayode Ojo Education Reform Secretariat. Today, the 17th of May 2023. The Fresfoundation Michael Kayode Ojo essay competition started in February, and it has reached its fourth stage today. Students and pupils who qualified for the semi-final stages came for the Fresfoundation essay competition at the Fresfoundation Secretariat for the essay competition. And the semi-final leads to the final next week, where (2023). The Fresfoundation and MKO Education Reforms Project has commenced a Readers Club program for third term in all our centers to complete the one session project that has been planned since last year. The Fresfoundation presently has 7 centers, and all centers kicked off the third term project last week. Thirdly, the Fresfoundation has also commenced a timely tuition fee support project. As at today, 6 beneficiaries have received support for the tuition fee as agreed. As well, the Fresfoundation also received from a Facebook report from Emanuela Antwi of Helite Foundation Comprehensive College on her present challenge and need to be supported. She is to join the WAEC exam that is ongoing. Emanuela reported the need of tuition fee and completion of our WAEC tuition, and immediately the Fresfoundation reached out to her, and at the moment the Fresfoundation had been able to see to meeting her need and have been able to support her in the needed way with the support from the school and the school heads of Elite Foundation Comprehensive College. Also, the Fresfoundation has concluded the promise to give scholarship to the winners of the essay competition conducted in 2022. The winner of the essay competition received the last payment for a scholarship today, as at today. And we are proud to say again that this will continue in 2023. And the foundation is using this to announce to the public the Children's Day celebration of May 27th, and looking forward to receiving the children at this celebration, as well as sponsors and all well wishes. Lastly, this is an encouragement from the Fresh Health and MKO for all students going through the WAEC examination. The Fresfoundation says to you, give your best. Don't take this exam lightly. Education is not a scam. Thank you for listening. And that's the first part of our agenda today at our Fundamental Right to Education Support Foundation and the Michael Kayode Ojo Education Reforms Movement live session. Our second agenda will be discussions with directors, volunteers, and facilitators of the Fresh Air Foundation. Do join us soon. I encourage us to like share, follow us. Call someone to join this live section, as we used to say. Today will be interesting. God bless you. I welcome you again. I remain Babatunde Smith, and earlier we gave reports on stories, happenings in the First Foundation, directly from the First Foundation Secretariat. I'm presently with one of the First Foundation directors. He also double as volunteer in the Fresh Foundation as well as a facilitator of one of the Fresh Foundation NKO project. Can we meet with you, sir?
Okay, good afternoon, sir. I'm Kelechi Williams, the director of project and program in the First Foundation. In the First Foundation. Um, that's who I am.
And really, that's who you are in the First Foundation, and more based on what I have as your profile. Sir, one education in all the fields of life that you can give support or advocate for. Why did you choose education, and why did you choose the First Foundation?
Okay, I want to start by saying, looking at our nation and with the research that I've made by God's help, I discovered that one of the things that will bring the positive change that we are longing for in our nation will come through education and proper education. And then you will permit me to say that judging by how education has been gone in the past decades, you would say our people are not truly educated. So it gave me a concern, and I fell in love with education too. And with that, trying to look for an avenue through which I can come in to contribute my own quota when it comes to education. And then along the line, I found First Foundation, and they were really in line with what I define education to mean. They were really in line with it. So I say, okay, I think I can work with this foundation. I can really contribute my quota through this foundation, and that's how I became a volunteer.
And how long have you been a volunteer with the First Foundation? Uh,
The truth is, I've known First Foundation right from the beginning.
oh,
Mhm. I've known First Foundation right from the beginning. So if I want to go by how long I've joined the First Foundation, I would say right from the beginning.
all right from the beginning, and that's it. Sir, you are the director of programs and projects.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
Okay. I am the director of program and projects in this foundation called the First. And that means because there are several programs that are being carried out. So we make sure that the programs are well coordinated. So we go to look for a very good site where we hold our programs, and then we draw out projects for the programs. And then my office is to make sure that the project for the program is well outlined, and then the program also follows suit by making sure that the program comes out beautifully well. So, and by the grace of God, He has been helping us in those areas, making sure that things are fixed right. So when you watch our program and you see everything going orderly, you should know that from the office of the project and program.
I love that when you watch our program and see they are going orderly, then that is the work of the office of the director of project and program. Have seen the project, last project. I saw it and it was wonderful, and truly it was orderly, and I say kudos to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
The last First Foundation NKO education stakeholders held in April was truly orderly, and that is kudos to your office.
Thank
sir.
you very much. Sir.
I want to bring in something as we would look at it within the scope of foundation. You know that people who serve, who are paid, and those who are volunteers. As your work as a director, are you a paid director or a volunteer director, sir?
In this work, I choose to be a volunteer. I don't want to be paid because I want to give all out. I want to give all to this work. So that's why I choose to be a volunteer and not being paid, and to make sure I do it with the whole of my heart. I want to really make sure that when it comes to education, I'm giving my 100%, and then allowing it, because sometimes when it comes to wanting to pay and all of that, there might be some restrictions and all of that. But when you are a volunteer and you know you are doing this for the passion that you have for it, you would go all the way out to do it the way it ought to be. So that's why I choose to be a volunteer.
Mr. Williams says, "This is my quota to humanity. I choose not to be paid. I have capacity to say, Fresfoundation, give me my dues, but I choose to be a volunteer director." Well done, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Talking about the recent projects or the ongoing project of the Fresfoundation and the MQ education reforms, what has it been? What are the outlined programs for the ongoing project? And as we have had in the news, the ongoing project majorly are the Children's Day celebration and the essay competition, as well as the Readers Club. What has it been with your officer?
I want to begin from our preparation for the upcoming program, which will take place on May 27th. That is the Children's Day coupled with the essay competition. We went for a visit to one of the schools under Limosho to check one of their halls. And then on getting there, the teacher, I think they were preparing the children for a debate competition, and they asked us to come in to at least take a little view of what the children are doing. And I tell you, we were dazed. We were so amazed with what these children, with the performance of these children. You know, we see the story we get out there, we hear out there when it comes to the public primary school was totally different from what we saw. It was so beautiful. I really want to comment. I really want to give kudos to the Lagos State, education. They are really trying, and getting there, and the school premises and every other thing, everything was really in order, and then the children really dazed us. And when we entered into the place that they provided for us as a hall, it was also, it fits in for all that we really wanted. So this essay competition has been so wonderful. The children has done tremendously well, beyond even our imaginations. I want to say kudos to the teachers. I want to say kudos to the children, to the pupils as well, and also the students. They are really improved. And my next prayer is that they would do more, because we believe that no matter how good you are, there is always room for improvement.
Thank you, sir, and thank you very much for your perspective concerning the public primary school. I think we are changing the narrative, what we've been hearing and what we are now seeing, and we are pushing it out there that the public primary school is not the same as you used to know it, especially in the Lagos state. And like Mr. Williams rightly reported, You need to go there to see that it's beyond what we used to hear. Thank you very much for that.
Yes, sir.
And you rightly said, I can deduce from what you have said that now the First Foundation has found a place to host our Children's Day celebration.
Correct.
And this is going to be within the public primary school,
Yes,
not a hall rented and the like. So thanks to First Foundation for our continuous labor with Lagos State and with all other states and the education boards of these states. Thanks to Fresh Foundation for this continuous labor. Sir, in your profile, I found that you are also a facilitator of the MKO Readers Club project.
Yes, sir.
Can you enlighten us on that? What is the work of the facilitator and how has it been facilitating for one of the centers?
It's been wonderful in the sense that this school that I facilitate is a missionary school, and is a missionary school, not you. When the school is free tuition, free uniform, everything is free, and that's why I fell in love with the school, and it's a great privilege to be a facilitator in that same school under the Leaders Club. And the children has been so wonderful. In my own school, is more like a special school because you find children who have been out of school for like 10 years. Some have not gone to school, some have not even visited the school since they were born. Some left school like when they were 3, and now they're about 14, 15 and thereabout. So getting to teach these children how to read is so challenging, but thank God for the passion in education. He helped me with the patience to really sit down with these children and coming down to their level to help them to begin to learn how to read. And it has been wonderful. In just barely how many months, I tell you, we have recorded huge success in teaching these children how to read. It's been wonderful. The children are also having fun now that they know that they can read. Now that they know that they can read and write, it has really helped them to come out from their shells. Because you found out that these children, because they don't know how to read, there is a way it helps them to, there's a way it makes them hide themselves. But now they can freely express themselves because they are beginning to learn how to read. So being a facilitator in the Readers Club under the First Foundation has been wonderful, majorly the school that I facilitate.
We have been discussing with the director of First Foundation, who is also an education ambassador of the Michael Kayode Ojo Education Reforms Movement. And Mr. Kelechi Williams, thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's been great discussing with you, getting to know your work as a director and getting to see your passion as an individual for education and education development in Nigeria. It's nice being with you. I want you to tell our viewers and those who are listening to us something that would encourage them to partner with or support the Fresh Foundation.
Okay. I want to say First Foundation is a foundation with a unique style. I'm not saying these mixing words. I know what I'm saying. If you can go to any of our social media platform and you would understand what I am saying. Seriously, our nation needs our education to be reformed, and the First Foundation is doing everything possible to make sure our education in this nation is reformed in the sense that our children are well educated, I mean proper education, and that also making sure that every children had the opportunity to go to school, to be educated, and also making sure that our teachers are well appreciated. These are major of the things that we need in our educational sector, and the First Foundation is doing beautifully well when it comes to all of this. So please, I would encourage us out there to really support the First Foundation. They are doing a whole lot, and it's been wonderful working with this foundation. I want to say, please, for many viewers watching us right now, please take our time to go to our social media platform and see what the First Foundation is doing. See it for yourself. Let it not be as though I am trying to talk you into it. Just go to our platform and see for yourself, and I promise you, you will be encouraged to contribute your own quota to the First Foundation. Thank you very much.
In the words of Mr. Williams, Fresh Foundation is a foundation with style, different style, and it's a foundation with integrity. Go to the media pages or social media pages of this foundation. The platform is filled with loads of reports on projects and the ongoing projects. Again, I say thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Hold on as we go on a short break to bring in another director who we are going to continue this conversation with. I remain Babatunde Smith, and I encourage us again, like this page, follow the media page, and share with another person. Let the sharing continue. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you for having me.
We welcome you again to this live session of the Fundamental Right to Education Support Foundation and the Michael Kayode Ojo Education Reforms Movement. It's a beautiful live session. We're sorry for that brief rough edges in our live session. We welcome you again to this beautiful afternoon live session of the Fundamental Right to Education Reforms Foundation and Michael Kayode Ojo Education Reforms Movement Project, Reforms Project. We've been discussing with directors of this foundation, and I have with me another stakeholder of the Fresfoundation. He is in charge of an important aspect of this foundation. And before we begin to discuss why education, what has it been with directing in line with his office would want to meet with you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Babatunde Smith. This is really a great privilege to speak to each and every one of us. My name is Ogunyale Taiwo John, and I'm the Director of Funds and Sponsorship for Fresfoundation. If I might speak also on my role,
Please, sir.
Okay, now my role involves getting sponsors and also people who want to partner with the organization to achieve our educational goals. Now we see that the NGO runs as a I'll like use that word. It's an NGO, it's a non-governmental organization, which means that we want to achieve certain projects and do certain things in the area of education per se, but these things are fund intensive, they are capital intensive per se, and we also know that there are organizations who are interested in making an impact in education. So our own role is to serve as a bridge. So what I do basically is to look for those organizations who want to impact in education, present Fresfoundation as a platform by which they can carry out that impact per se, and also at the end of the day see that those projects are being fulfilled per se. So that's like a summary of my duties in Fresfoundation.
And since you became the director, we are going to when did you become? Okay. But since you became the director of funds and sponsorship of the Fresf, I believe you would have introduced Fresfoundation to many institutions, as you have rightly said. But how many came through, and how has it been?
Well, it's it's been wonderful, and it's also been intensive. It's not a small task per se. We've had to meet with several stakeholders in the education sector, in the government sector, in the private sectors, and we've also had to build relationships with other foundations per se. We've looked around, not just we've also looked around for individuals who are interested in also the educational sector per se. I won't say that all our approach has been a success, or at least we've had every year we've counted increase from one level to the other per se. So that's the way I'll put it.
So saying every year means you have been with the Fresfoundation for more than a year then?
Yes, I've been with the Fresfoundation for more than a year, but in the capacity of the Director of Funds and Sponsorship, that has not been long. So I'll say I've been with Fresfoundation for over a year, but in this capacity of playing this role, let's say for the past 8 months or so, that's when I've worked in this role per se.
We are going to get to the point where I say, do your job again. Tell them the Fresfoundation is a good platform for them to bring in all they want to push into the education sector. All right. In another capacity that I see in your profile, sir, is your capacity as the coordinator of the Fresh Health MKO Breeders Club, especially in the capacity of all the facilitators coordination. Let's begin with your recent visit to the 22nd Nigeria International Book Fair 2023. We saw you went to the book fair. Why did you go to the book fair, and what was it like? What was your experience like?
Well, the book fair was wonderful. It was really a great experience to meet with other stakeholders in the book club. We met with editors, we met with publishers, we met with several companies that are involved in publishing books, in editing books, and also readers per se. So it was a fair that opened us to different opportunities, and it gave the Fresfoundation more opportunities to see how we can leverage and also grow our foundation to make much more impact per se. So that was it for me personally, and for the foundation, it really was a wonderful. I had to learn, I had to sit, and I was not feeling intimidated if I'm to per se. It's wonderful sitting around people who are knowledgeable, sitting around people who are interested in books per se, and not just for academic purpose. they love books because they love books and they've seen the positive side of reading per se.
Thank you, sir. They've seen the positive. I love the side of I did not feel intimidated because there were big ones there. They love books and they love books. That's beautiful and well said, sir. Um, in your capacity as a coordinator of the Readers Club, what are your duties? What are your roles? What are your responsibility? And how has that helped make the Readers Club progress from where it was before you joined and where it is presently?
Okay, now I want to speak about the MKO Readers Club. It officially started by September per se, and the reason for the Readers Club being created was because we wanted to create a learning gap whereby students read for fun and read for self-development. Now, over time, what we've seen in the education sector is that people only read just to pass their exams, and while that is seen across every level of education, so from the primary sector, from primary section to the secondary and even the tertiary institutions, students mainly read just to pass exams, and once they don't have exams, they don't see the reason to read per se. And there's something that reading does to the mind of an individual, is that it expounds that such individual's mental capacity per se. So at this morning, I had the opportunity to speak to certain little children, and I was speaking to them. I told them that you don't just read because you want to pass exams. You read because you want to expand your thinking capacity. You read because you want to expand your mind. So the MKO Readers Club is here to solve that issue per se. Now, if there's specific question you asked, so that I don't forget about the Readers Club.
Your roles, your capacity,
Okay.
and how has that moved the Readers Club from where it was before you joined and where it is presently?
Okay, now my role majorly is to, because now the Fresfoundation has like I said, it started September, and we started with 5 centers. Now my role is to coordinate all those centers and see that the goals and the aims for that Readers Club is being achieved. So every month we do we carry out evaluations. We go to each of the Readers Club. We ask what are the things that they've done for this month. Is there any improvement in the learning of the child? Is there any improvement between when the child started the club and right now? And over the time, we've seen that these students, some of them who were not interested in reading, some of them we had to speak with one of the facilitators, and he said that one of the things she noticed was that some of the students don't know how to summarize. Some of them are not good in writing. But with this Readers Club, we've been able to see those issues and also solve those issues by just reading. So the Readers Club is a very wonderful opportunity per se to expand knowledge, and my role per se is to see that everything is being achieved. Now, between the last few months, now the Readers Club has held for let's say for the past 6 to 8 months, if I'm not mistaken in that details per se. And what we have done is that we bring in new reading materials, we bring in new skill sets for not just for the teachers, for the students alone, but also for the facilitators. So they have to learn several skills by which they can communicate knowledge to the students per se. And I believe we're not just stopping there. The next few months, we are looking for a way to expand ourselves with the various platforms we've had, the various connections that are coming on board. We are looking for a way to expand the Readers Club beyond what it is right now.
I believe in our next segment of the Meet Your Directors or Meet Your Directors session, for this live section, we are going to take that further, the expansion project of the Readers Club. But now let's go back to the ongoing project, which is the essay competition and the preparation towards the Children's Day celebration, which is coming up March 27, as we have rightly heard from the Director of Programs and Projects. What has it been seeking out for sponsors and partnership for achieving this essay competition and the May 27 program? What has it been, sir?
Well, like I would say, it's basically in Nigeria, when you say looking for money is not an easy job per se. So, but we are not people who relent in whatsoever we want to do. So we've reached out to organizations, we've reached out to individuals, we've reached out to private organizations, government parastatals, and we started to see some of them coming to help us in this project per se. Now, some of them has brought in resource per se, some of them has brought in financial capital, some of them has offered up their building. I guess we were speaking with the director of projects per se, and he told us that through one of the government schools, we were able to get their halls for. So these are several ways. So not everything might be coming in through monetary form. So in several ways that individuals are coming in the best way they can come in per se, they've started coming in, and we are not still stopping. We are still looking for more, because it's a huge project for us. We are looking for more individuals to come in to partner with us to see how they can help us achieve this project per se. And it's just close by. It's just next
It's just
week.
very close,
It's close by.
very close. And because it's very close, and I believe we're online and we're being listened to globally presently, I wanted to speak out within your capacity as the director of funds and sponsorship to people out there who would love to support or sponsor this ongoing project of the Fresh Foundation.
Now, to everyone who is out there who is watching this video, who has been interested or who is interested in Fresfoundation, I will say this: that we are not fake. We are not. We are original, and we know where we are going to and what we want to achieve per se. So come to us. Go through our social media platforms. If you need proof of the works we have done, go through. Everything is clearly stated in our social media platform. So we are inviting you. Come join us. Even in this upcoming project, it's just a week by of essay competitions. We've had the opportunity to interact with some of these students, seeing what they have written, and it's amazing what we find in these students. Now, come join hands with us and see how we can encourage learning, how we can encourage these students to do better per se, and it will be worth your while. I tell you, it will be worth your while.
To be worth your while.
Yes.
I'm going to do two things with you before I allow you to go this time in this live session. But let's take from this perspective. You said the Readers Club, going back to the Readers Club,
Okay,
is meant for fun and self-development. There's an ongoing examination in Nigeria and West Africa, the WAEC. Should people read for fun or read to pass their WAEC exams?
Now, while I'm not going to dispute the fact that there is aspects to read for exam. No, I'm not disputing that fact. But reading for academic purposes and for exam becomes much more easy when you read for fun, when you naturally enjoy reading. Now, for the student we see that have A's, they don't read just because they want to pass exams. They read because naturally they love reading. So now taking that skill from just loving reading to reading for academics becomes easier per se. So when I'm reading, I'm not just reading because there's an exam. Now, so I pick up a project. I want to know every detail about that project. I want to know every detail about that course or that subject per se. So when I get to the exam hall, I'm not writing because I've crammed certain subjects. I write because I know I have an in-depth idea about this particular subject per se. So that's what reading for fun does. That's the impact it has, even for exams. So it becomes easier for you to answer live questions, examination questions, and so on.
So Mr. Taiwo is saying, WAEC student, read for fun, and we'll be sure you'll pass exams with flying colors. And then lastly, sir, you are a young man. How was it been? Are you paid within the Fresh Foundation? What is this passion all about? I know that with your profile, you are a volunteer director.
Yes.
It means you don't get paid. Why this? As a youth, what do you expect to get from all of this?
What do I expect to get from all this? This is what I would say. when you look at the level of impact you have in the life of a children, in life of a child, you know that it is worth it. There are several people we've had to meet, several children we've had to meet via this platform, and you know that everything about life is not just about money, it's not just about earning. There's an aspect whereby you want to start to begin to impact into your own environment per se. Yes, Fresh Foundation is not I'm not a paid volunteer per se, I'm a volunteer director per se. But when you look at the impact that we have made in these few years we've started, you know that it is worth it. And sooner than later, we know that everything is not going to be like this forever. Everything is going to be what we want to achieve, the goal we want to achieve. Everything will begin to come in as soon as possible. Per se. So it's fun. It's fun when you see the impact that you have in these children's life. Per se. It's fun, honestly.
Mr. Tyro says, I do this for impact, not for monetary gains. I do this as a youth to impact lives, the lives of children, and I like what I'm doing. Can I use that medium to reach out to many youth? You are meant to impact life. Yes, seek for gains. Mr. Taiwo is one youth, yeah, and there are several other youths that also can live for impact. You can do this by volunteering for the Fresfoundation and the MKO Reforms Movement Project, and you will be highly welcomed. Your contribution will not be taken lightly. Again, we say thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
We are glad having you
Yes,
in
sir.
this our edition of the Meet Your Directors, the directors of the Fresh Foundation. And I know another time we will be having you. I will bring further the Readers Club plan that you mentioned. I will tell the world what the project is all about and the intention of the Fresh Foundation to push this further. Thank you again, viewers. Don't go away. We still have one more session to go through, and I encourage you, take a sip of your water and continue with us. Again, I say follow us on this page or on this platform and all other social media pages of the Fresh Foundation. If you have a comment, if you have a question, please do send it down at the comment button and you will receive the right response to your comment. Thank you for staying tuned with us, and we would love that you join us in the next session.
Thank you.
you again to our live session, the first F, First Foundation, Michael Kayode Ojo Education Reforms Movement today, the 17th day of May 2023. We've been discussing with directors of the First Foundation, directors and volunteers, as well as facilitators of some of the First Foundation projects. We've had a huge time of discussion, and we're going to continue in our next live session with Meet Your Directors as we take in other directors from the First Help. Taking again our news highlights and reporting to us again the ongoing project of the First Help. Do remember, the essay competition continues. The First Help got to the fourth stage of the competition today, and by next week they will enter into the final stage of the competition. Please reach out to the First Foundation, and on the 27th of May 2023, the winners of this competition, just like they did last year, the First Help will be rewarding and awarding these winners with different forms of education package, and you need to be there to see it for yourself. Again, we reported that the First Foundation and the MK Readers Club project continued this third term with 7 centers, and by 7 centers we meant 5 major centers in different schools, and the centers run within the First Foundation Secretariat as well in other partnering school. With this in altogether, presently the Readers Club runs 7 centers. Like you heard from the facilitators and the coordinator of this project, new books have been given, new set of books have been given into the Readers Park, and the pupils and students continues to enjoy the benefits of this project. And largely, we spoke about the timely tuition fee support of this foundation. 6 beneficiaries enjoyed this tuition fee support this term, and this has been ongoing for many times, and let's say many years. And beyond 6 beneficiaries, we also add an Abbeyfield School, where a student who won the last essay competition receiving the last payment for scholarship of the winner of the essay competition. As well, Emmanuela Antwell, who reached out to the First Foundation through our Facebook page, also received a tuition fee support as well as the completion of our WAEC fee. And based on this, would love to say there are many Emmanuela Antwell out there. First Foundation has been able to help support this young girl who is about to write a WAEC, and without this support she would have missed writing a WAEC exam this time. There are many Emmanuela Antwell out there. You can support them and you can help them to achieve their dream. You can do this through Fresh Foundation. This is a call out to every well-meaning Nigerians, every well-meaning Africans, everywhere well-meaning individuals all over the globe to support the projects, the visions, and the missions of the Fresh Foundation. And it has been a beautiful live session with you this beautiful afternoon, and I still remain Babatunde Smith, your privileged host. I thank you again for joining us, and I say again, join us in our next live session. Goodbye for now.